It's the JT Cho Show!
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5,
Welcome back, everybody, to the JT Show. I'm the host, JT. Today is April 16, 2020, and this is your 26th episode of the JT Show. Thanks for being with me. I made some grapes. I didn't really make them grown. I just rinsed them off. DM me for my recipe guide. But I know it's kind of rude to eat and talk, but I'll explain the scenario why when we get into Animal Crossing. You can blame Animal Crossing for me eating during this podcast. Try to give you guys a new angle. Just want to say the way that things are progressing and build a PC pretty soon. Get a new webcam, and I'm trying to have like new looks. So I think I might even install like cameras. Make this my podcast room, my studio. It's kind of like a half and half, but I'm really trying to commit, and I want to commit for the JT Show. So, trying out some new angles, and with that faster PC that can do more, I'm still going to take it in one take, but now I have like maybe two angles. So, it's not always you just, looking at the same thing, because that gets boring. So, now you're asking, why am I eating these grapes? First of all,
You don't see big red yum and fuck you.
but realistically, if you don't like grapes, I don't know what's wrong with you. But I'm sitting here today, and I wake up, and I'm just going to tell you about my morning. I wake up at 9 o'clock, kind of get things clean, realize I need a couple new scrubby pads, need like the harsh metal one, really deep those deep stains out of there, but I want to deep scrub a couple of my pans. That's that corona cough. Stay safe, stay indoors. Anywho, so I wake up, I get some groceries, I get some cleaning supplies, clean off my counter. This is my podcast table. It's also my puzzle table, but I'm going to get like a different puzzle table, or I'll get a new podcast table. But anyways, all my clothes were up here, so I folded all my clothes, got my choring done, because more hands for choring makes choring go faster, or whatever they say. But, so I got all that stuff done. Then I realized that my Switch needs to be charged for the day, because I'm playing Animal Crossing. Well, I log in, because I said, well, I got some plants that I didn't finish planting last night. So I'll just plant those real quick. I'll log into Animal Crossing. This is like 10:30ish, and right now it's 1:08. I'm gonna say it was closer to 11. So here I am. I was just gonna plant a couple flowers. I'm really trying to cross-pollinate these flowers, and I realize it's harvest day. All my trees are blooming. Now, could have shot the podcast because I was looking up various topics, but I was like, you know what? Let me just knock this out real quick. So I've got all the fruits. I got the oranges, the peaches, the pears, the cherries, the cocoa nuts, and I harvested all my trees. On my island, I sold all the exotic fruits that I picked. Okay. So, then I said, you know what? To finish this off, I'm going to go get all the pears that I have in storage. So I went to my house, got all my pears, and I go to the store and I buy pears. You can buy them in quantities of 5 for $2,000. I've got a 40 slot inventory wallet, and I decided I'm going to dump all my items except for pears, I already had 80 pairs in my inventory of a maxed out window of 40. So if you want to do the math on this, I swear to God I did it. But I decided to fill it up, and I was going to wait till a friend got online later tonight, probably Cutter Garb or who have you. I've been trying to play with Kat, but she's, I don't know, always busy. Allison's been fantastic. Some girl that I used to work with at a Mexican restaurant. Not only did she have a bunch of stuff I don't. I need to learn how to talk better. But I mean, if she needs a plug or something, she'll hit me up on Twitter, and that's as far as it goes. That's my user and dealer for Animal Crossing. So shout out to her island. It's like Aloha. It's pretty nice looking. But so she's online, and I hit her up, and I was like, hey, I forget what your native fruit of your island is. If it's not pears, can I get an invite? So she opened her island, I flew out. So I have a full slot inventory. I have 40 slots in your pockets. So I had 80. I had 8 in each pair. So imagine 40 slots, and in each individual slot you can fit 10 pairs. So I had 8 slots filled with 80 pairs. So those 80 pairs, that's a $40,000 profit because I picked those pairs off my island. So, boy, that's a lot of fruit. I've been saving it from the last one too, and I'm trying to convert it more to a flower profit island. So, anyways, I took all my money that I've been saving, and I bought $128,000 worth of pears. Now you're probably thinking, yeah, I had to take notes. It's a lot of math. I also wrote it on my whiteboard. So I wrote a lot of topics on my whiteboard. I'm going to start using that. I didn't really use this notepad today. I want to keep it more free with suggestions just in case I forget, because that's the fourth wall that you're not seeing. But, so she got online. I bought all those pairs. So I had $168,000 worth of pears in my pockets. I'm like a goddamn 7th grade math problem. Jacob bought $128,000 worth of pears. With his $40,000 worth of pears, doesn't tell you the number, just tells you it's $40,000. With his $40,000 profit of pears, how much will his return be? So, I did the math on this. Because here's the kicker. Pears on my island sell for $400 a head. Pears on your friends' island, that's their native fruit isn't a pear, so it sells for $500. So there's a $100 increase for profit. So in buying 380 pears at $400 a pop, I basically sold all of I essentially made a $47,000 profit. So I took that $47,000 profit, and by the way, you're never going to lose money on it. So yeah, I made a $47,000 profit, but I still got that $128,000 back because I'm basically buying it for $400 and selling it for $500. You get it. I'm an economic genius, or economic, I don't care. I said it wrong the first time, and it felt so wrong I had to say it the right way. Anyways, so I took that, and I'm on her island, and I was like, you know what? While I'm here, when in Rome, I bought a dog bowl, but I also bought whatever the daily item over there was too. So I got 38 slots now. So, by the way, I might have messed that last one up. I had 32 slots open. So you basically take 32 times 400, that's 12,800, and then you take 32 times 500, and you get 16,000. So you basically 160,000 is my return $428,000 that I spent for that profit. I don't know, the math's there, I promise. So then I bought cherries. So again, I bought 380 cherries at $400, which came out to $152,000. And I sold those cherries, 380 for $500 a head, for $190,000. So I then, in return, made another profit of $38,000. So I had like $270,000 in my pocket. That had like made a little side bag for you. So I paid off my loan, and then I moved my house because I was tired of where it was at, and I wanted to move into the mountains. So the only thing that sucks is I just paid off my $380,000 loan. Yeah, I work a lot, so I'd like to play it more, even though I already play it. But so instead of just what I originally got on the Switch for, because I wanted to talk about my neighbors and I wanted to get all their names right. I eventually skipped my lunch. I don't eat breakfast anyways, but instead of eating a lot for lunch, I'm just going to have grapes because I was going to shoot the podcast at 11. Maybe cook a little eggs, throw them in a tortilla with some salsa, some peppers, But I played video games for like an hour because that's what Animal Crossing does. If you've never played it, it's a game that you're grinding, but you're not grinding for gear. You're not like, oh, I can't wait to get this armor so I can have it for online, or 1v1. It's grinding just to make your home better. It's like a real person grind. Like, that's what I'm doing. I'm paying off my house. But this isn't a video game where you can sell one pair for $500. So, I mean, essentially, real people do that, But I'm also cross-pollinating a lot of flowers. I've got some black roses. I've got some black lilies. I know I've got 3 different types of flowers on my island now, maybe 4. I know there's a lot more. I'm just not a whole lot of lucky in finding them because I haven't visited a lot of different islands for a while. But that's on my to-do list for sure. The only thing that stinks about the new setup is I do like to go for an hour. Probably after 50 episodes, I'm going to reassess my format. I like to keep it at an hour. I know some people don't have an hour, but sometimes I cut it down to 45 minutes. But I like to do an hour, and I appreciate when you guys can take an hour out of your day to listen to me just babble. But I can't exactly see the time that I started the podcast at, and there's a little timer that I look at on my computer. So when I start building the new setup, that's something that maybe in the background I'll have like a timer. Lots of ideas are always spinning through my mind, but staying in the realm of Animal Crossing, I've got 2 natural neighbors that came with the islands. I've got this monkey, and the monkey has like red war paint around their eyes, and then I have this mechanical ostrich named Sprocket. He's pretty cool. He likes to lift weights, so I eventually got to get a pattern or buy a weight and then give him the weight because he's always talking about lifting weights. I got Sherry. She's also a monkey. So I got 2 monkeys on my island. Kind of messed it up a little bit, but no harm, no foul. I'm going to set up the campground later today, so I get those more cool, different variety of neighbors. Real diverse island we got going on over here. Then I also got Simon, who's a monkey. I might have said that already. And then I've got Carrie, who's a kangaroo, and she's got a Joey in her pouch. And yeah, my Islanders, I think Sprocket's the coolest. But Garvin, Gary, Real Fake Gary, he definitely has the coolest Highlanders. He's got like a little ram sheep looking thing, and it's just like a clown. And I'm like, that's ridiculous. So I'm definitely gonna be on the lookout to invite, some unique neighbors. And I got this little bird. Last but not least, I got this little bird named Twiggy. This little angry yellow bird. He's just always mad. It's really funny. But I'm glad the egg day, I can't say Easter, PC. I'm glad that's over. I was tired of digging up eggs. I'm looking for fossils, and you're like, we found another egg. I'm like, look, there's like 6 fossils per day. I'm sick of digging these damn eggs. Alright, I'm here for some fossils. Funny thing was today, by the way. So I found this journal on the ground, and I was like, hey, whose journal was this? And I eventually found out that it was Simon's, right? I wanted to finish those grapes because I knew you're probably tired of watching me eat grapes. If you're listening to this, I was eating grapes for the past, since we started the podcast. But anywho, I found out whose it was, and I couldn't give him his journal back because he was in my butterfly garden, and I was like, oh my god, like, please, just, and I was trying to max out my pockets, and I needed to drop this dumb journal, so eventually he came out of the museum, because I was like, I can't find this guy anywhere, he's nowhere, he's not in his house, he's missing, calling the National Guard. No, he's in the museum, and he's in my butterfly. He's like, did you catch this butterfly? I'm like, okay, look, I don't got time to talk about butterflies right now. Is this your journal? And he wouldn't even let you ask that question. He was just looking at these butterflies. Yeah, I don't know, that really upset me. I feel like that should be an update. But, it's a great game. I pre-ordered the Animal Crossing book that's coming on Amazon, and if you're an Amazon worker, I'm sorry that you're going through what you're going through. That's a billionaire's mentality. Sorry, but I ordered it through Amazon, so I'm not helping the cause here. Anyways, some local news. Michiganders were, I'm from Michigan. I live in Michigan. That's why I have no career right now, because I'm not living in LA or New York or any of these big cities that can. I finally found like a guy who can get me some, like a talent manager or something. But I'm not talented. But anyways, I'm not famous. Eventually, I am trying to get famous. Essentially, I'm not really trying to get famous. I'm just trying to become a stand-up comedian. I've said it a lot. When we're on a hold-up, I still write jokes. I still sit down. I've been writing. But we will, when the crowds are allowed back in and open mic starts back up, hopefully I can start, doing it more than I am right now, which is absolutely zero. So, anyway, some local news. We were, and I say we as Michiganders, we were so mad that our governor, who's been making the headlines, and Trump's been like, that lady from Michigan. But anyways, Gretchen, she restricted Michiganders from buying non-essential items like paint and gardening supplies and stuff like that. And like the store, she broke off those sections. And there's a whole lot more to read into it, but people just they grab those catchy headlines because you gotta simplify. You can't just put the entire breakdown of how it actually works. Like when you go onto like the government website and then you actually read into it, it even goes into more depth after that. So, you know, a lot of people see a source, a non-credible source on Facebook, but since it's on Facebook, they're like, oh, this must be true. I'm outraged. So one of the reasons people were mad is they're like, oh, some people paint for therapy, and now they're going to go do drugs. Like, I've never been addicted to drugs, but I'm just saying, like, if that's the only, like, thing keeping me from not doing drugs, I would either A, have more paint than I would ever need in stock, or two, I would probably go see, like, my guidance counselor or whoever you might have to see. I know I'm not trying to make fun of mental health. You know, I'm not trying to make fun of one's mental health. I'm just saying that people are like they're saying extremes just they're like, what if this is the only option that this guy doesn't do drugs? I'm like, show me this guy. Like, show me this guy. If there's a guy out there, I'm sorry, you might run out of paint, but I had a friend who brought up a really good point that he just Googled it on Amazon, and he found what he was, two searches. One searches, I gotta turn this off. He had two searches on his phone. Typed it in once, found paint, and found some seeds. Because I'm gonna do a little pepper garden this year, so. Anyways, sorry. Oh, by the way, I interrupt this. I got a new ringtone, so I'm going to play it for you guys. All right. So for those who know, congrats. For those who don't know, you don't know. I think it's hilarious. I still wanna get one of those big arm things, but I'm gonna wait till I get a bigger desk. Because when I get a bigger desk, I can like anchor one of those big arms to the desk. This one, it doesn't. LOL. Yeah. We played some skins last night for golf on the PGA game for real money. So we were saying lewd things on Venmo to our friends of what because I lost. I had to give up essentially $10 to the winner, and so we were sending funny messages on Venmo that were PG-13, and other people are liking those statuses. That's what we do. We gamble on fake golf because we've been confined. But overall, like, man, you can tell the people. I saw a meme I want to talk about too for this whole thing we're going through. It really struck me like there's people who've done time in jail, and I'm not saying that time in the military isn't jail. I'm just saying there's people that did their time in the military and got out, and we're chilling. And then you've got people that have never served time and they've never served in the military. Not that you have to. I'm not saying you have to, but I'm just saying there's a difference. And like most veterans are just straight cruising, chilling, and then all these other people are like freaking out. Like, what am I supposed to do? I've done everything, and I'm like, learn a foreign language. They're like, no, that's too hard. I don't have enough time for that. I watch too many shows on Netflix. Like, I don't have sympathy for you. Like, let me tell you, I saved my leave, so essentially I had enough time and money saved up to where I did get hired at a job, but my hiring date was 63 days after I got home for the first day. So essentially I got paid for 45 for three. I got 3 paychecks from the military after I got out. You can do it. You can save up to get 4 paychecks and still get out. You can get out 60 days early with 2 months of approved leave. I'm not saying it always works. I'm just saying this is the plug. And so essentially you sit at home for 60 days, you stay out of trouble, and you get out of the military. if you choose so. And so I did that, and then I didn't work for 63 straight days, and I loved it. Played video games. I was working out for like 2 hours a day. Like, that's why I bought my punching bag, essentially, because I would be on the elliptical for like 2 hours. I would just like straight binge watch TV. I moved a small 19-inch TV that I had at the time down to the basement because I was just bored. I mean, like, I ran outside, and when I'm outside, music's enough, but when I'm just stagnant in a basement on an elliptical, there's only so many things you can look at. And there were certain shows that I only affiliated with running on a treadmill. So if I wanted to watch more of that show, I would have to jump on the elliptical, not the treadmill, but I would have to exercise to watch that show, and then I would box after that. So my boxing bag is set up in my garage. I'm turning that into like a little workout center, but there's also a piano out there, which, again, I know I did a little teaser, but I am trying to learn how to play the piano. At least understand it. I'm never going to be like Beethoven, symphony, whatever. But I at least want to know the basics, I guess, It might take me 5 years to figure out how to use two hands at the same time with my feet. That's why I was never good at the drums, because I ain't got no rhythm. I played trumpet for 12 years. But yeah, I need to like relearn a lot of things, so I'm taking it like one step at a time, and it's just gonna sit in my garage. And my mom came over. I might have said this already, but she came over and she's like, "You're gonna ruin that piano," and I was like, it's a free piano, and like downtown Jackson has pianos that just like sit outside, and they're still like pretty good. Like, I'm gonna get it tuned up, and I know it's gonna go out of tune in the winter and stuff, but honestly, I didn't feel like carrying it down my stairs into the basement, and I didn't feel like bringing it into my podcast room. If I get good at it, it might come to my podcast room, but I'm not going to become something like, I don't think I would ever, I'm not really good at songwriting, so I don't think I would write like a funny song, so I don't think I would involve a piano in my stand-up. I'm not saying that it's totally out of the option. If I had more than one special, I'd say it would increase by 50%. Maybe as like a bonus extra content after the performance, but that's me dreaming. That's all I do these days. I'm like, I hype myself up all the time. You gotta, sometimes it's depressing because this might never go anywhere. This might stay with just my friends, and I might just work a regular job and do this thing as a hobby, and okay, that's probably gonna be my life. Like, but I gotta try. And I always relate. I'm not saying I'm Steve Carell because he's so talented, but I'm just saying he got discovered late, so I'm giving myself till I'm 35. So, anyways, one topic that I did want to talk to you guys about today is Yahoo, which I check not daily, but more often than any other place. Some of their entertainment section sucks. Some of their articles are very headline grabby, but they're just trying to survive like everybody else. President caused more death. No, the coronavirus caused death. And nobody really knew, and no matter how it was going to go, if he would have did all these sanctions and nobody would have caught the coronavirus and died, and they wouldn't turn out the way they did, they would have been like, Trump's a racist against China. And if he would, and he did what he did, and it was still pretty early, and they were like, "Oh, that's too early." Now they're like, "Oh, it wasn't early enough, and you killed these people." Like, that's ridiculous. And I'm not saying I'm a Republican, and I'm not a Democrat, and I'm not really a party. I just try to look at everybody even. Let's look at their policies and not their parties. And I don't think that Donald Trump economically, until this hit, did a bad job with the country. Not talking morally, talking economically. But no matter who was sitting in office, I don't think that we were prepared for this. But we're still America, and we were more prepared than other countries. So I think that we were prepared, but we weren't prepared for it to be on this level. So, anyways, I'm on Yahoo, and I'm looking through all these different articles. Sorry, my notes are up here. So, you've got this one that grabbed my heading that said, I think it was on the show. It was team of entire Mike Trout. So they took a team and made 26 Mike Trouts for a baseball team. So every single player was Mike Trout. So every single game that you played, you had a starting rotating pitchers, catchers, first base, second base, third base, outfield, shortstop. Essentially, all 9 positions on the field were all Mike Trouts. And I wonder if he had a DH for his pitcher. I think he would have to, which would just be another Mike Trout. Anyways, well, you can DH him. Anyways, you wouldn't have to. So this entire team of Mike Trout, there's 26 of them. I clicked on it because I was like, oh, maybe they won like the thing, like maybe they won the World Series. It turns out they lost 50 straight games. They had a winless June. I should have pulled it up, took a little bit more notes. Anyways, they got annihilated, and it's because of pitching. And they take his stats, and they essentially throw it into a couple pitches that weren't rated very high. So as a pitcher, not good, in like the low 60s, high 50s, if I remember correctly. And all his other stats are like okay, and he's like, I don't know how he did on infield. I haven't seen any of like the video progress. I haven't really dug into it. I just read the article. They had a winless June. They didn't win their first 18 games. They ended up 20 in the rest. It was something crazy. And first I hit up my boys and I was like, yo, this guy made an entire team of Mike Trouts. And he's like, oh, that's cool, man. And I was like, yeah, he lost 50 straight games and went 20 and whatever. And he was like, no way. So then we're like, hey, who would be a guy who you could take and make every position on a football, on a football field, or an NHL rink, or an NBA court? Who's one guy right now that you could put at every position, the same person, and I think that team would do good. So my list right now, we're going to start off with the MLB. Now, I would think that you would have to put in, it's going to be whatever player can, it's probably going to be like an outfielder. I would probably choose Puig because he's got a cannon. He plays outfield, so he could probably position play all right. He's quick, he's fast, and he can still hit the bombers. So, I mean, that's realistically my pick. If I could pick anybody of all time, one of my choices would be Pete Rose, and my other choice would be Don Kelly, I believe his name is, and a Tiger. He's actually somebody that I believe he played all 9 positions in a baseball game. So, started and played every single position. So, essentially, he's got that going for him, and he got some outs when he was I think he got a strikeout when he was that pitcher, or he closed the inning. But I remember he played all 9 positions in a game, so I would pick him because, he can clearly do it. So the NFL, this was hard to think about. Did I want a team of Aaron Donalds? But, their offensive line is going to be sick, and their defensive line could slaughter people, but their secondary is going to suck. I understand you're not going to have that much time, but I think that it would just be whoever had the ball last would win because, you probably put some Odell Beckham Jr.'s, and you've seen him throw some touchdown passes, so his QB rating has to be a little bit higher than most receivers. And yeah, he could probably get him with speed, but Aaron Donald would just run down the throats of Odell Beckham Jr.'s because look how small they are. So I would have to pick somebody kind of in between. So I eventually, I was thinking about this for a long time. And I eventually went with Saquon Barkley for my first pick because of his quads. You've seen the man's quads? They're huge. Saquon Barkley has the biggest quads I've ever seen on a running back. And so, he's going to be good at offensive line. He's going to be good at defensive line. And he's really fast. He might not be good at quarterback, but we run it. We are running the jet sweep. We are catching the corner. And, if we do throw it, I'll just throw it like 3 yards and let him run for a couple more yards. He's coming out of the backfield. All time, I would still pick Saquon, and then runner-up was Christian McCaffrey. His little brother's a quarterback, puts in a lot of work effort for Michigan. I hope he gets the starting position this year. But Christian also, he's phenomenal player, very fast. So I think he's my number 2. I think a running back with like a solid, like look how much muscle he has. You don't want like someone under. You don't want somebody at Odell Beckham Jr.'s weight on your offensive line. You'd rather have a Saquon Barkley or Christian McCaffrey on your front line. Speaking blocking wise, we could talk about it all day, but I'm just giving you my picks. For the NBA, an honorable mention, Shaq, because I think it'd be hilarious to have like 5 Shaqs. And maybe it'd be so funny with 5 Shaqs just dribbling down the court. And then, man, you never get a rebound, I swear to God. But realistically speaking, Kevin Durant and LeBron James tie. Because a team of LeBrons and a team of KDs would be crazy. And no one's stopping LeBron coming down the lane. He's been doing it. I hate the man. I don't hate him. He's a good dad. I just hate that he murdered the Pistons, and that's why I hate him. I just hate him because he killed my team. The Pistons won in 2004, and LeBron just slapped him in the mouth. It's my league now, and he's still here. No one's stopping him driving down the lane. Me and my buddy were playing 2K. I'm horrible at it. Horrible. And I was finally winning the 3rd game of the night. We were playing all-time teams. I had the all-time Pelicans, and I was just Chris Paul, Anthony Davis, Stakovich. They got a pretty good squad. Boogie's on it. But I had enough talent surrounding my team that I can move the ball pretty well. And he had the all-time Cavaliers, which of course has a 99 LeBron James. And there was a point where he closed an 11-point gap and took the lead. And I think he shot 2 3-pointers and then drove 3 times with LeBron James. And I said, you can't even be mad at that. Because that's what LeBron James would do in real life. That is entirely realistic. This is not an unrealistic game right now. It was unrealistic that we were scoring low points because we're not playing full minute for quarters, and I suck. But we're moving the ball. But if I saw a team, LeBron does play all 5 positions. He can play the center. He's a big guy. I don't know. I don't have his stats in front of me, but if you had a team of LeBrons or a team of Kevin Durant's, dude, I don't think anyone's stopping us. Of all time, I still think Michael Jordan is the best player of all time, but I think a team of Kevin Durant's is better than a team of Michael Jordan's. So I might have to do some 2K experiments on that. So if I can do that on 2K, I will, and I'll stream it on Mixer while I talk about it. So NHL, Patrice Bergeron right now, he's one of the best 2-way forwards in the game. I think that a 2-way forward is something that it takes already that needs to be in this league. You need some really good 2-way forwards. Offense is important, but you need to have people who hustle on both ends of the ice. So, a team full of him, the goaltending's not going to be very good. Oh, and by the way, a team of LeBrons, it would be like a team of LeBrons versus a normal team. So you would have a team of Patrice Bergerons. So I think offensively and puck handling, we're going to be great. Goaltending's going to suck, but I think if you can keep it out of your end and pass it and keep the time of possession away, you'll be okay. Block the net, all time. Wayne Gretzky, of course. so fast, so good. Sergey Fedorov, he'd be fantastic. And Steve Yzerman. You might think, oh, those last two were biased, but no. Steve Yzerman was one of the best two-way players in the game. And if you disagree with that, then you can disagree too. And Wayne Gretzky, one of the most talented people to ever play the game. And Sergey Fedorov was one of the fastest
Ball focused.
I've ever seen skate. And so I don't think those are unbiased. I don't think those are biased picks. I know there's a whole lot of people out there that I can name besides Steve Yzerman and Sergey Fedorov, but my God, they were so good. 90s Red Wings, man. Detroit. Yeah, we're going through a rebuild for the whole city, and I'm a Packers fan, of course. Whatever. Last topic I really want to talk about is some stand-up comedy. So you have three of my favorite. Yeah, that sounds awful. You have three of my favorite comedians. All had a special come out recently. You had Bert Kreischer, Hey Big Boy, Tom Segura, Ball Hog, and Chris D'Elia, who has No Pain. Now, one thing, whenever I just say it without thinking, I'm like Chris D'Elia. I'm like, easy name to remember. Whenever I look at it, something happens in my head where I'm just like, I mess it up. If I'm just like Chris D'Elia, hey, have you seen Chris D'Elia special? Yeah, that's great. If they'd be like, hey, who's that one guy, Chris, what's his last name, does something, I'd be like, D'Elia. Like, I can't do it sometimes. Sometimes I just have to just be like, okay, either shut your brain off, or just like, something happens. I don't know what it is, but sometimes the way I say his last name crisscrosses in my head, and I just totally can't say it. So, Chris D'Elia, I apologize for that. You'll probably never see this, but I just want to put it out there. But what's something cool that all three of these people did is I'm probably going to clip this, but they had this Easter egg thing, and Bert came on his podcast. I'm going to send this to Bert. He'll never watch it. And I'm going to tag all of them in it. So, maybe retweet it on Twitter, JTFJville. So, I'm making clips too. But you have Bert come out and he's like, hey, we did this cool thing where we lined it up to where he came out with his special, Hey Big Boy, very funny. Highly recommend to go watch it. So he tells the setup of a joke, Tom Segura tells the middle part of the joke, and Chris D'Elia tells the ending of the joke, but they don't tell you exactly when or what. So it's kind of like this Easter egg to where I'm probably going to Google it or look in the comments, because that's tough and that's cool. And once I find the joke, man, that's comedy writing gold. I don't know. I haven't listened. I'm behind on some podcasts. Go listen to Chris D'Elia's podcast. Go listen to Two Bears, One Cave. I know they each have their own too. Tom Segura's got one with his wife. He's got one in Spanish. And then, of course, Bert's got one with Bill Burr. And then, they're always on Rogan. I'm a little bit behind on listening to some podcasts. But, go to their web pages. They're great comedians. They know what they're doing. And this is comedy gold. This is something that, these are the jokes that I'm like, I can write funny stuff. And I have 100% faith in saying it. And you've got to work on the delivery. And there's so much to work on. But writing, I think I'm good at. I think. Okay? It's my opinion. But this is the writing I want to get at. This is what makes gold. You took a cool idea and you took three very funny specials, by the way. Ball Hog, me and Cut went and saw that special, and I mentioned that previously. We want to see Bert now. Bert, if you ever watch this, please come party with me. I'll fly out some cool guys. Come to Michigan. Again, you'll never see this, but come on, man. Come party. When this is all blown over, I don't know you, but let's go party, Bert. And then Chris, he's a funny dude. His voices, his setups, all three of them, very funny. No Pain, Chris D'Elia. Tom Segura has Ball Hog, and Bert Kreischer. Hey, Big Boy, go go watch them all on Netflix. That's a plug. I'm not sponsored by any of them, but yeah. So, anyways, this might be short. Might be a shorter podcast. It's okay. Again, I don't want to just ramble about a whole lot of nothing. I already stutter enough. But I just want to say thank you for sticking with us. I know I said t-shirts after 25. Waiting until the coronavirus blows over. Because I'm not trying to send contaminated. I don't know if I'm a carrier. I'm not getting tested. I don't have symptoms. That cough is just from me talking a lot. But, it's not acid. But, try to stay safe, people. Hope you like my setup. If you like it, tweet me at JTofJville, jtofjville.com. You can hit me up on Instagram, JTofJville. Hit me up on JTofJville. Anything. Tags. Most likely it's me. My YouTube's connected to my Twitter, so that's how you find the podcast online. And hey, thanks for just being with me. 26 episodes deep, people. We're going to 100. We're flying that train. Thanks so much. God bless. This is America. Detroit versus everybody. Signing out, Captain.